Hey guys, this is Will Garcia online again. So, in one of my previous videos, I showed you how to simply solve for the current through a 5 ohm resistor by collapsing all the resistors down using parallel and series combinations and then solving for the current. Well, you guys are in luck because there's actually a way to check these types of problems and even much more complicated problems using a very powerful simulator for circuits. Um, it's something you can download off the internet. It's called LTSpice, and it's totally free. Um, this is very useful going through school for me, checking different types of DC and analog circuits and AC circuits, all different kinds of things, whether you're building a charger or using MOSFETs or different kinds of electrical engineering components. So let's get started. So first we want to create a new schematic. We want to drop our voltage source down. So I'm going to click the component icon, which is the symbol of an AND gate, and I'm going to drop my voltage source down. If I right click on the voltage source, I can input my value for the voltage source. I can zoom out by holding down the control button and rolling on the scroll wheel. And the shortcut key for resistors is just the letter R on the keyboard. Um, there's another way to get a resistor. You can simply come up here and just hit the resistor icon, whatever works for you. So I'm going to place my resistor down just by simply left clicking. And you can actually rotate any part by holding down the control key and hitting R at the same time, and it will rotate your part, which is a pretty neat shortcut. So if I place all my resistors down, I need to connect them with a wire. So if I come up here to this pencil icon, I can click it, and that will allow me to click, click, and click. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to click your first connection. Then before you change the direction of the wire, you'll have to click again to kind of snap it in there. So I'm going to simply connect all my components using this wire. And there's two things left that we need to do. We need to set the resistor values by right-clicking. Here's my 5 ohm resistor I want to find the current through. And one last thing. So because the negative terminal on our power source is going to be this entire uh, node or net in the circuit down below, I always just put my ground down below here. You can either just snap it right on the wire, or you can create a new wire going straight to it. I could have put this ground icon over here connected right underneath the minus icon of my voltage source. I could have put it over here. Just as long as it's on the same net or node, it's going to be fine. So now that my entire circuit is set up, I need to set up a simulation. So I'll come over here to the run icon, which is of the little man running. I'll click that, and for a simple DC circuit analysis, I'm just going to use a transient. I'm going to put a 0.1 second limit for the stop time, which means it will only run for 100 milliseconds, which is more than enough for what we're doing here. And I'm just going to click OK. So as you can see, my simulation window has popped up, and I still have my circuit down below. So since I'm simply using a DC circuit, I can click on any part of the circuit and measure what the voltage would be across any component that I want to. So if I just simply click here with my red probe, it's going to show 10 volts. And if you want to measure across a certain item, you would simply click and hold the mouse, and drag it to the other side of the part, and you'll see if I'm still holding down the mouse, I have a black lead, and what that's going to be is the negative terminal of my multimeter. So if I let go, I can see that I have a little under 3.5 volts going over across this resistor. If I click on my ammeter icon, which is if I just hover the mouse right over my resistor, what this is going to do is measure the current going through the resistor. So if I just click on the resistor, I had to click twice to get rid of the other signals in my window. I can see that I have about 0.67 amps going through this resistor, which is exactly what we calculated using the basic circuit analysis skills. What else can I do? I can measure the current going through my voltage source. So if you remember, we measured the current going in the clockwise direction coming up and out of our voltage source. So if I click on this, it should give me a negative current because it's referencing in the opposite direction, which it did. It gave me a negative 1.67 amp current going down through this, which just verifies we were correct in drawing a positive current of 1.67 amps coming clockwise, referencing coming out of the voltage source. So that's pretty much it for simulating this basic circuit. If you're ever questioning whether you have solved it correctly on paper, just throw it in LTSpice. It takes 30 seconds and you can check your answer. Hope this was helpful, and talk to you guys soon. Thanks.